Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland. Normally my videos focus on how to save money on your groceries and the meals that we cook. And this one is just a little bit different. It's focusing on my garden, which is another way that I like to save money on my groceries. Anything that I can grow myself, we can eat fresh in the summer and the fall, and hopefully freeze some and continue to eat it throughout the winter. I'm going to show you a couple different things that we do. And gardening is a very personal thing. Just because I do it one way doesn't mean that that's the right way. Most of the things that I do, actually, I really don't know. I Google a lot of stuff. Sometimes I have huge success and sometimes I'm really disappointed. I am getting eaten alive. I'm outside and the mosquitoes are really, really heavy. This time of year, it's just started to rain, so that brings them out. Check out what we have done this year for our garden and let me know what you think. Tell me if you are a gardener. You may be watching this on our Facebook page. You may be watching this on our YouTube channel. Either way, let me know if you garden. Let me know if I've given you any tips or suggestions or motivated you. And also, I'll always really enjoy knowing where you're watching from. Thanks so much for tuning in. So this is some of the stuff that we're growing. Here are some things that we started by seed. And back in the winter, I got a bunch of seeds at Giant Tiger in a big bin, and they were 3 packages for 99 cents. So normally I buy my seeds from a greenhouse, and I always try to get heirloom and open pollination seeds so that if I want to seed save, I can, and that I can grow from my own seeds the next year. There's never any guarantee that will happen from a lot of seeds that you buy in the store because they're processed and the seeds are treated. So anyways, we're very excited. We got peppers, and they're just little, I don't know if you can see some of them in there, and we're just using cups. Here are chili peppers, which we've never grown before, but 3 for $1. How could you go wrong? I'm having, some of them are growing here. And these tomatoes, these ones are beef steak. Doing okay. Still pretty young. Some of the leaves are starting to yellow, so I'm going to Google that a bit. We've never grown broccoli or cauliflower before, and we are trying our hand at both because per pack for 33 cents, why not? Now this was actually quite a find. These ones are called Rutgers, and these ones are heirloom. So I am going to try to do some seed saving from these ones and see what we can get year after year. This is spinach, and I had 2 different varieties in here. And luckily, again, this one was an heirloom variety. This one was just regular Bloomsdale, but this one was heirloom. And when you look at them, they look very, very similar, but you can see a little bit of difference. Like here, the leaves look a bit more wrinkly. These ones have smoother, or tend to have some smoother leaves, so we'll see how those turn out. And I can't remember what we planted in here. Nothing has come up at all. And we actually thought this little green pot was a lost cause. And then randomly those 3 came up, and those are honeydew melons. We are trying our hand at green onions. I've never had success. I've tried to grow them many times in the past, and we've never had success. And these, we're getting kind of worried. So you can see here how little the tomatoes are and how really tiny the peppers are. We started these really, really late in the season, and we were getting worried that they wouldn't be ready. And so we bought some seedlings, just peppers and tomatoes, and I'll show you those in the garden. And when we bought those, we got some specialty. So this pepper here, we got just one. This is a poblano pepper. And this one is called a sweet pickle pepper. And this one is called a Hungarian black hot pepper. And you can see we are already getting hot peppers. This was a tomato, Brad's Atomic Grape Tomato, and if you Google them, they look really nifty. I'm excited about that. And then I planted some dill from seed here. I've not had success with dill before in the past, so I'm excited to see if we have anything come up. We also have this space-saving planter. So it is a ladder planter that the other half built a few years back, and it just leans against the side of the house. So, top, I have some Swiss chard, and this was, I think, rainbow Swiss chard. And this one is regular Swiss chard, and I just got both of those packs. I'm in the bin at Giant Tiger. This was lettuce, which I also got in the pack at Giant Tiger. And this down here were just some seeds that I had left over from last year, some basil and some coriander. Now this is where it starts to get really exciting. So where my tomatoes and peppers, those need a long time to grow to be ready to be outside. Zucchinis and cucumbers, not so much. So all of this side, the row closest, is zucchini that I grew from seed. And then we have this nifty little thing that we have built, hoping that they will vine up onto that instead of across the ground. This side is all cucumbers, and most of them are from seeds that we planted, except for these ones down here. We were at the Atlantic Superstore, and they had a little clearance shelf, and they had this little pack of cucumbers, $2.25, and the other half simply could not resist. And now looking this way, we have beans. So hopefully we have lots and lots of beans. On one side is yellow beans. So this side here is yellow beans, and this side over here is green beans. And then we have this nifty little thing that the other half built. And this again is a space saver. We have it setting like this, but you can set it over top of your garden and grow plants underneath. So something vining to go on top. And here we have 2 butternut squash that we grew from seed. And I can't remember what's in the middle. So the vines grow up, and then underneath you could plant something that likes shade, say perhaps lettuce. And then coming in here, this is peas. And we just planted these recently, but they are already starting to come up, so I'm excited about that. And then over here are the seedlings that we bought. So how many peppers do you need? Apparently a lot. I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait until the nurseries, or like even garden centers, Canadian Tire Garden Center, the Walmart Garden Center, the garden centers at the grocery store, when they have getting closer to the end of the season, they will mark their stuff down. So I wanted to wait for that, but the other half was getting very, very, very extremely nervous that our peppers were not going to grow fast enough to get anything. So we have a couple different kinds. We have jalapenos here, and next in line there is hot jalapenos. I'm getting bit 2 pieces by mosquitoes. Here we have King of the North. And we have New Ace. Just Majestic Red Bell. And down here, Sweet Pepper. And then these 6 right here, those are actually eggplant. And again, we bought those I bought those at Canadian Tire. More peppers here. And then these are the tomatoes that we bought. Oh, this whole row here, which you can't really see yet, they are starting to come up, is beets. And then right next to this, the empty space, is where we're going to be planting the cauliflower and the broccoli. So this is an interesting story. I got this whole row is, or I guess half of the row, 3/4 of the row is called Early Girl. And it's funny, I had picked out a package of Early Girl when we were at the nursery, and then we were at Superstore and they had that markdown shelf. And these ones were also Early Girl, marked down to $2.25. And then down here, these ones are called Carolina Gold. So they're like a yellow, smallish tomato. And then I saw, there's our little rhubarb patch. Some strawberries there on the end. And what was very interesting is I saw someone post online that they were looking to trade some tomato seedlings that they had, because all they had was one kind. So I messaged them, and they had yellow pear tomatoes, and I traded for these 6 plants here. 2 of my seedlings that are the beefsteak, 1 of my Early Girl, 2 butternut squash, trying to think what else. Oh, 1 of the red bell peppers, but for some reason it had 2 in the one little, I guess the little container, they're 6-pack. So in the one thing there was 2, and I was gently trying to separate them, and the roots were just kind of intertwined. So I just put the 2 in together. And then one of them also was, where are they? The hot peppers, or the sweet banana peppers. One of those as well. So I'm trying to think. So 3 different tomato ones, 2 butternut squash, and 3 different peppers. And I also sent some seeds that I did seed saving last year. We have some mini jalapenos, and I did seed saving with those. We really liked them. We are preparing this raised bed. We need to get a bit more soil. There's some compost in there. There's some manure. We just discovered 2 bags of black earth in the shed, and so we dumped those in there. But we need to mix everything in, and we need to get a little more soil. And what's going in here is radishes. And I was thinking of trying to create some kind of netting like that. I have some dry beans, and we didn't really save any space in the garden for them, so I thought perhaps along 2 of the sides that I could put some netting and plant the beans all around the perimeter, maybe in the way that would shade the radishes the least from the sun, and see if I could get some dry beans that way. These are some chives I was given a couple years back by one of my friends. She also gave me some everbearing onions, and they didn't take. So just after that first year, they haven't come back, but the chives come back every year. They like it here. So on a closer look of our spinach, I'm really surprised. Like, it's small, and some of it's already starting to flower, and I'm not sure why that is. I haven't done anything different, really unusual. Another thing that we're gonna have to figure out, what do we do now? I did a little bit of research online. I read a few articles, and a lot of them commonly say that tomatoes need a ton of nutrients. And often they leach all of the nutrients from the soil, especially as seedlings. And we haven't really been doing much fertilizing with these guys. And so the very common thing is, if the bottom leaves are turning yellow, they're lacking nitrogen. So that appears to be what is going on.
with a lot of these ones. Those bottom leaves are yellow. So a homegrown remedy, again, that I was researching on the internet. I have no real experience with this, is adding some coffee grinds into the soil. So I watched a couple videos, and one of them suggested mixing the coffee grinds in with some soil, because coffee grinds can become compacted and on top of the soil. So I'm going to mix them in a little bit and maybe put a couple spoonfuls in each of these plants and hope that they come around a bit. My coffee maker takes a cone filter. It very easily came apart here. It's wet. This is from the coffee I had this morning. So I'm just going to scrape that into this bowl. Scrape what I can't just crumble into there. Stir it up and put some in with the tomatoes. So that is all stirred up in there together. And at the same time that I top these little seedlings off, I think I'm going to try, like we didn't have anything come in those pots there, I think I'm going to try to very gently separate some of the ones where a couple seeds fell in the same cup. See if I can get them separated, and I think they'll do better that way as well. So this one here had 3 together in the same, and you can see the roots. So I'm just going to very carefully try to separate those and get them into their own individual cups. Here they are, all separated, nothing even ripped. I just was really, really gentle. I gently shook and tugged until they came apart. So no ripping of the roots. Everything is still intact, and I'm going to repot them in with my little mixture, and plus the soil that's already in the cups where nothing grew. This one is quite crazy. So 3 stalks, and then that one was kind of fallen down on the side, and then that's another little one in there. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these. Try to get them separated. We'll see. I literally don't need to buy one more thing. And then this happened. I was getting some soil for the raised bed. I just needed to top it up. I was at Kent Building Supplies. They had some really decent soil on sale. And they had this little clearance table, 25 cents. Spaghetti squash, not something that we've ever grown before. It was a 6-pack at some point, and you can see like this one's broken off. This one is not great, but maybe salvageable. Here's another one broken, but this one is good. Those 2 are good. So, I mean, if I got 1 spaghetti squash off of it for 25 cents, totally worth it. These ones are watermelon. And there were other ones there that weren't as in good of shape. They had the tag inside of it, and they were sugar baby. We actually tried to grow watermelon last year, and the year before we had a few sugar baby seeds left over from last year, and they never actually grew. So when I saw these for 25 cents, and there is, oh my goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 in there for 10 cents. Or 10 cents, 25 cents. How could I leave them? So I don't know where exactly we're going to put them. And then these, candy onion, never heard of them before. I'm not exactly sure what to do with these. They totally smell like onions. For 25 cents, I am going to put these in some of the grow bags that we have. We've got all kinds of containers, and I'm just going to see what I can get. It started to sprinkle out, but I've been really busy today. So I separated all of the tomatoes. All of these containers now just have 1 seedling in them. And the Rutgers, I had enough that there are 5 in that little 6-pack back there. And the beef steak, I have 11, and I put them in these 6-packs here. So we'll see if we can revive those. Also, these are those onions, the candy onions that I got on clearance for 25 cents. So these are fabric grow bags, and I just separated them. It took forever, but there was a lot in that little 6-pack. Like each
section had 3 or 4 in them, so I carefully separated them and put them in there. I have never bought onion seedlings like that before. I'm not sure how they will grow, but I'm very curious to see. In this one, it doesn't look like much. I actually did have some scallion bulbs. So there's some scallion bulbs in that, and I planted them today. And then some of the other things that I got in that clearance bag, or clearance, the 25-cent packages. These are the spaghetti squash. So 3 together here in the grow bag. There was only 3 that weren't broken off, and the other 3, we're just putting them in the garden. I don't think that they're going to grow, but what if they do? So we just put them in there. And then these are 3 of the watermelon, the sugar babies. And there were quite a few watermelon. I wasn't sure. I don't know where we're going to put them or what we're going to do with them. So for now, I just separated them and put them into individual pots. So we'll see how they grow and then what we'll do with them. I don't know if we'll end up getting some more pots or bags and growing them here, or if we'll gift them to people. And then this bag, those 3 peppers that we had saved aside, just in that little 4-pack. And there's 3 different kinds here. I think one's a jalapeno, one's a sweet banana, and I don't know what the other kind is. And those we just have together just for the fun of it. I hope you enjoyed this little glimpse into what my gardening life is like. I find gardening extremely satisfying. It's not just about getting food to eat. It's just such a satisfying feeling when you've grown something and you've picked it and you're looking at it. The bugs are still bad. You've picked it and you think, like, I did this. I really recommend it. You can garden. You don't have to have a big plot of land. I showed some of the things that we were doing. We have that little garden, that little ladder just leans up against the house. We have stuff in bags. We have stuff in pots. You know, if you have a back deck, a back step, a balcony, you can container garden, and it's amazing what you can get from just a couple plants. Highly recommend it. Very satisfying. Thanks so much for watching.